COSM looks like it's prepping to make a pretty substantial upside. Let's go ahead and validate the potentials for the coming days. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with a COSM technicals, raw price action, and statistical thread of analysis from my parents' kitchen. All right, so we're going to try this once again, and hopefully we can get the COSM analysis out of the way this time around. Please, before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, so yes, we are looking at COSM on the daily chart here, and I have to show you a couple things of just immediate interest. Okay, so where we are presently as a support is something known as an inflection point. Okay, so inflection points usually have a support area that doesn't have a lot of below the support, above the support, below the support, above the support. So you can see here that let's see, this was on January 19th, 2023. We came back to touch the support. We ripped to the upside, right? And of course, on the descending triangle or a right angle triangle, we ended up getting the resistance touch right as expected, right? So now please go ahead and notice that we're sitting at that area yet again. All right, so this huge candle here was the reverse split. Okay, so this in December 16th. Okay, so we actually came back down to this very same support and ripped. Okay, so go ahead and notice right down here that we used this support level as a resistance. Let's see, 1 time and 2 times before breaking upside of it, then confirming the support touch and then ripping to the upside again. Okay, so this is already signaling a potential upside continuation. Not only that, is that the triangle is already past the typical breaking point or the breakout point, which is typically found at about 60 to about 70% to the apex of the triangle. Okay, so in this case, you can clearly see that we're about at 90% to the apex of that triangle at the very at that inflection point support. And a potential setup for an upside. And I'm going to go ahead and just show you in the following charts, but I want to express a couple things first. Okay, so I don't want you to pay attention to this line just yet, okay, because this is the overall price objective for this descending triangle. Okay, so the one that I want to focus on is the second most popular, and it's another way to actually gauge the objective of the price via a trend line, right? So the way you do that is go to the center of the triangle and you take you go to the center of the triangle from the hypotenuse of the triangle down to the lowest support area. You take a trend line, right? And then you apply it to the area of breakout. Let's just say that we were to break out 2 days from now, right? So the upside target that we're getting from this point is right in confluence with the 3.618 at about $9.89. Okay, so there's going to be a couple targets for us to kind of keep an eye out, okay? Because the $9 area is rhyming a lot. All right, so now let's go ahead and move on to the next chart. All right, so this is the statistical side of the analysis. I have performed another back test for the COSM asset. So this is on the 8-hour time frame, and what you're looking at here is from critical contraction from the BBWP, which is representing volatility. We actually started now an expansion phase. So we came back down to critical volatility and started expanding from both the moving average and the volatility component itself, the spectrum line. So we are at critical oversold here. This is not to say that we're going to just go up to the moon from the current moment. Okay, I just want to express to you that yes, the oscillator, the momentum oscillator, is still suggesting a little bit of a downside right here, but we can't ever trust these little tiny pivots too much. Okay, because already it looks like we're in a type of trend line regression right here. Okay, so there is the potential to where we can actually come down ever so slightly and continue on to that upside. Okay, that is just speculative for now, but it's just because we're already oversold and we're already getting the expansion phase. Sorry about that. We're already getting the expansion phase from volatility, suggesting that we are, in a sense, mean reverting. So it would be back to the 50 percentile of the volatility. We're gonna touch bases on that. Okay. So now that you know the conditions, Now that you know the conditions for an upside thrust, meaning that every time we're at contractive levels and it started an expansion phase alongside momentum suggesting an upside continuation, I have taken note of every time that volatility versus momentum have actually guessed the upside correctly with these black lines versus incorrectly. Okay, so what that tells us is that we have a total of 9 iterations from which 6 were guessed correctly to the upside. This gives us an averaged upside accuracy of 66.66% with an averaged upside thrust of 206.895% to the upside with an average duration of just about 6.16 days. This is the proof of work right down here. So if we were to put up that metric of 206% to the upside from the current price action, I'm not saying that we're going to bounce from here, but I'm just saying that if we were to do it from this area, that's taking us to a target of $9.16. Okay, why does that sound familiar? Well, we just talked about it. We just talked about that $9 target being right up here. So this is the 3.618 at 989, the 3.272 at 922, and right below it, just right over here, I can't get any closer than 914, right? But there it is, right under the 3.272. That naturally gives us a resistance range. Okay, you guys, so now we have another potential validator for that upside target. Okay, so let's go ahead and now continue on the analysis because there is absolutely more rhyming that I want to show you. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in to the 8-hour reversion variant. Okay, so this is actually my algorithm. I've actually put it together so that we can be able to identify what the mean of the asset is. Okay, so let's go back to the to this test right over here and see the fact that anytime that we're at critical volatility from either critically expansive or critical contraction levels, and we start the upside or downside, that usually means that it could be signaling a reversion to the mean. Okay, so where is that located? So go ahead and notice right over here that that mean is located at $3.54. That also rhymes with something incredibly important. What is that? Well, let's go ahead and go back to our initial chart from the descending triangle and go ahead and notice these are the labels here. Okay, you see the labels right there in black? That's the price. Okay, so let's go ahead and see on that 2-day target from now. Let's go to the resistance of the triangle itself and go ahead and notice the valuation right to the label on the right hand side that we talked about. $3.55. You guys make sure to like that freaking video. This is ridiculous. We're getting a lot of rhyming here. Okay, so $3.55 is essentially the resistance of our triangle. $3.54 is the mean of the reversion variant. We are looking at $9.89 per the formation breakout objective. We're looking at $9.22 at 3.272 and $9.15 at the statistical backtest upside. Guys, there is something happening within COSM, and not only that, we're definitely at that inflection point as where you can see that we've ripped to the upside several times from these areas. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 times already. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next chart and see what we have. Okay, so this is going to be the divergence chart. Divergence is the opposition of price action versus momentum, and you can see here that we have 2 drives of unconfirmed, okay, unconfirmed bullish regular divergence, okay, which usually happens when price action is making a series of higher lows and momentum is making a series of higher highs. Lower highs. Okay, so this is actually particular to the 8-hour chart. My apologies. There you go. And again, the 8-hour chart is the reason we're in this crazy predicament for an upside potential. The 8-hour time frame is suggesting all of these upside metrics. All right, you guys, so let's open up a multi-pane and see what we have in store for this asset. Okay, so we're going to start off just like we always do with the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame and see what's good. All right, so pardon me. So we're using in the 30-minute time frame the 14-day simple moving average with a pivot to the upside. I don't like the little pivot. It's all good, but you know how I feel about that, right? So now what I want to bring up to attention here is that we have some pretty consistent signals here between the 4-hour, the 8-hour, and the 12-hour. Okay, and what is that essentially? So we're looking at the 8-hour time frame and the 4-hour time frame suggesting some type of pullback. Okay, so meaning that we would take the RSI signal purple line and take it and write it on upwards to the 14-day simple moving average pink line and retrace from that level, right? But notice here that on the 12-hour time frame, we do have the same situation happening, except in this time around, we're looking at the pink 14-day simple moving average located right at the gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile, which would essentially suggest for us to succeed the 14-day simple moving average for a continuation to the upside. The larger time frames they seem like they're waiting for the influence from the shorter time frames. Okay, you guys, so this is very exciting times for the ticker symbol COSM. Okay, so I just want you to know that I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy or sell any assets whatsoever. Okay, you guys, I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be just fine. Okay, please go ahead and refer to the links in the description below where you will find the ARC Masters trading course. There are still seats available for track number 2, so go ahead and reserve your seat now before it's too late. Okay, you guys, so remember, also in the description below you'll find a Twitter link and a Discord ARCa Bulls trading community link. Okay, you guys, with that said, I wish you well a very, very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.